ambulance was splattered with blood, and God only knew what other bodily fluids. Supplies littered the floor, making it look like a fight had broken out inside the vehicle. Only there weren't any green rage monsters or kung fu movie extras to explain the chaos. Just the paramedic and a patient lying unmoving on a gurney. River waited while the paramedic got to his feet and ensured all the IV lines were untangled before pushing the gurney out. With the majority of his face covered by an air-purifying respirator almost identical to the one River wore, it was hard to tell how the guy felt about the condition of his patient, the situation, or even of his vehicle. Concern, fear, embarrassment. 6 years in the Special Forces had taught him to compartmentalize emotions and events and his responses to them. The shit going down today had him hanging on to his training by the ends of his fingertips. A cold, painful lump crouched underneath his sternum. Not fear or panic, but close, alien and unwelcome. Focus. River held his end up as the rolling bed cleared the bumper and its retractable legs stretched toward the ground. The paramedic gave River's army uniform a measuring glance. "You work here?" "No, just got here to help about 10 minutes ago." River jerked his head in the direction of the emergency entrance to the University Medical Center of El Paso. "There are nurses inside." "Thanks." The paramedic pushed his patient toward the wide doors. Behind the guy's ambulance, another rolled in. That would make a total of 6 since River arrived. The pit of his gut wound tighter and tighter until he wasn't sure he could even swallow. He'd seen this movie, one of those medical thrillers where everyone dies, but he never thought he'd be in the middle of one. Again. Someone called his name. He looked away from the ambulances to find his new boss of 10 minutes waving at him to join her. Next to her stood a man in a dark suit and a respirator of the same type as his own. Dr. Rodriguez led the way to a spot where they were out of the way but could observe the foot traffic going in and out of the ER doors. "Ma'am," River said respectfully, "how can I help?" He nodded at the other man. "This is Agent John Dozer from Homeland Security. He's their lead agent here." "I'd shake your hand, Sergeant," Dozer said, "but personal contact of any kind is now prohibited." He tilted his head toward the doctor. So even Homeland Security had to listen to her. Good to know. "I asked for you because you've dealt with outbreak conditions before, yes?" she asked River. "Middle Eastern refugee camp, last year." Just thinking about it gave him a headache. He'd been shot and kicked in the head by someone he'd trusted. His injuries had cost him more than nearly a day's worth of memories. They'd cost him the unconscious trust a soldier needed to have in his brothers in arms. Some asshole terrorist decided to test his homemade super rabies on several thousand old men, women, and children. A lot of them died. He studied the doctor, but aside from the deepening of the angry lines bracketing her face, she didn't react. What was he missing? A glance at the agent provided no more information. 2 more ambulances pulled up, their lights flashing. A lot of people were getting sick fast. The situation had too much in common with the one he'd been in before, but with one big difference. This wasn't the Middle East. This was El Paso, Texas, USA. Shit. He took another look at the doctor. Despite the particle mask respirator she wore over her face, she looked as if she was ready to strangle someone to death with her bare hands. "You think this is man-made?" "Man-made," she agreed, nearly biting off the end of the word. Now he understood why he was here, when he should have been back on base teaching his class on surviving with minimal equipment. He was going to get to go asshole hunting. "At least you've some experience with outbreak conditions," she continued. "Most of the law enforcement people here have never seen anything like it. They may balk at some of the measures that need to be taken." She didn't sound happy about it. Nope, Dr. Rodriguez appeared to have about as much patience for bullshit as he did. A characteristic he appreciated in a commander, supervisor, or whatever the hell title she wore. "I'll be vocal with my support of those measures, then. The punishment for ignoring an expert in this sort of thing is usually lethal." He gave her a respectful nod. "Orders?" "I'm expecting assistance to arrive from the National Guard in a couple of hours, but until they get here, we're stretched thin. Most of my people are either treating the infected, working on identifying the pathogen, or preparing to
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.